Good morning. This is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, August 26, 2000. The next couple of days continue to show some pretty significant precipitation coming to Utah, Nevada, and southeast Idaho today. That deep precip will move into Idaho and western Wyoming tomorrow and into Thursday. For today, we will see some mixed wet, dry thunderstorms move into central Idaho mountains before the air mass really moistens up on Wednesday. And then after today, some of those the thunderstorms will become a little more scattered over Utah and Nevada as some drier air starts to move into those areas. There is also some flash flood potential as this deeper moisture moves into Utah and then up into Idaho over the next few days as well. Yesterday was an active day for shower and thunderstorm development. We had a lot of lightning activity across Nevada and Utah and even up into southern Idaho and the southern part of western Wyoming. We're already seeing some thunderstorms and showers this morning with these dots in the oranges and yellows here. And yesterday these storms were accompanied by some decent precipitation totals. These orange dots here in the map on the left show about an inch of precipitation. So some decent precip totals with some of these storms. There were some drier spots out there in central Utah. Great Basin activity for the last 24 hours showed 16 new fires for only 3 acres. So definitely some IA out there, but all those fires stayed small, and large fire growth was just over 2,000 acres. ERCs continue to show a decline across the area. We've seen a rapid decline over Nevada and a continuation of a decline of those values over Utah as well, with a few pockets out there that are still on the drier side in Utah. But we'll continue to see those values come down today. And further north, still some higher values over the central Idaho mountains and into eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. Again, those values will come down over the next couple of days with the deeper moisture heading up north tomorrow into Thursday. Showing the trend for a couple of these areas over the Payette, we can see those values have already started to come down with just the cooler temperatures and cloud cover and higher RH that we've seen there the last couple days. But the more dramatic drop will come tomorrow into Thursday as the deeper moisture moves further north. And then over north central Nevada, here in the Elko area, we've seen a pretty dramatic drop over the last couple of days as well, with those values below normal for the time of year. They'll continue to decrease for another couple of days before starting to rebound as the air mass dries out. Smoke impacts for the next couple of days really showing smoke from our neighbors wafting into the Great Basin, some smoke from fires in Oregon coming into western Nevada, and then the fires in northern Idaho could spread into central Idaho, and then we have our fires in western Wyoming that are putting off some smoke as well. But with the moisture that's coming up, overall large fire activity within the Great Basin should be decreasing, and those fires should be putting up a little bit less smoke. The satellite imagery for this morning is showing the high pressure centered over New Mexico, Colorado area as this deep area of moisture continues to spread into the Great Basin. Today's going to be a pretty good day for widespread showers across Utah and into Nevada. And then that deep moisture will push further north into Idaho and Wyoming tomorrow. So for today, again, looking at that big slug of moisture moving up into the Great Basin, our overall large fire potential is going to remain very low for the next couple of days. We still do have some potential over the central Idaho mountains as the deeper moisture hasn't quite reached that area, and we do expect to see some mixed wet, dry thunderstorms there. But overall, still that fire environment has the potential has decreased a bit already. Precipitation for today's expected for today is shown here on the left. Some nice pockets of deeper precipitation expected once again over Utah and into eastern and southern Nevada, and we'll even see some of the showers moving up into southeast Idaho and western Wyoming today for some chance of a wetting rain up there. Overall maximum temperatures have been on the decrease as well, so we're looking for highs in the 70s to low to mid 80s across many of the valley locations, so pretty cool heading into the end of August. Afternoon wind gusts today are going to be mostly associated with outflows from thunderstorms that develop. I'm not looking for any wind to be major problems, except again where the outflows interface with ongoing fire activity. And then minimum RHs are up into the 30s, 40s, and 50s for much of the geographic area. Maybe some slightly lower values right on our northern border. On Wednesday, it's kind of late in the day here, this image, but Wednesday we'll see that deep moisture move north into Idaho and western Wyoming for a pretty good chance of a soaking rain across much of Idaho and western Wyoming. Significant fire potential decreases to low for the whole Great Basin. Again, the precipitation totals for Wednesday are shown here. These values in pink and purple are over an inch to an inch and a half of precipitation, so pretty significant precipitation coming to the mountains of central Idaho, southeast Idaho, western Wyoming, even northern Utah, northeast Nevada could see some of that deeper moisture and significant precipitation again. We will start to see some drier air moving into northwest Nevada, parts of southern Nevada and southern Utah beginning on Wednesday. Maximum temperatures are still going to be on the cooler side on Wednesday, with highs again mainly in the 70s. Significantly cooler up north with that moisture moving in for highs in the 60s. Wind gusts on Wednesday do show a bit of an increase over northern Nevada. We see some gustier westerly winds move in. The RHs are still somewhat elevated, and with recent precipitation having moved through, not really worried about those winds from a fire potential standpoint, but something to consider for the ongoing incidents. And then those westerly winds may also pick up along the higher elevations of Utah as well. Minimum RHs are very high over the central Idaho mountains and into western Wyoming, with values in the 70s and 80s, so very high RHs across the north on Wednesday, and we'll see some of those drier values starting to move into western and southern Nevada, but still pretty high. On Thursday, drier air starts to move back into Utah and Nevada. There's still enough moisture to see some afternoon thunderstorms, and then we will continue to see another round of showers and thunderstorms over our far northern boundary on Thursday, and the overall significant fire potential remains low. Again on Thursday, continued showers over the central Idaho mountains into eastern Idaho, western Wyoming, and northern Utah, with drier air moving into Nevada, southern Utah, and southwest Idaho. Minimum relative humidities are still going to be quite high over Idaho and into western Wyoming and the higher elevations of Utah, with those values in the 40s to 50s or the 30s. But we do see some drier air back into the maybe upper teens moving into northwest Nevada and far southern Nevada. The 3-day precip totals are shown here. Again, looking for a pretty widespread wetting rain across much of Idaho into western Wyoming, even northeast Nevada and northern Utah. We'll see those higher precipitation values as well today into tomorrow. Some of these deeper purples here looking at 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inches of precipitation, so pretty good soaker for the end of August. As we head into the weekend, the drier air continues to filter into much of the area. There still will be a little bit of moisture for some afternoon pop-up thunderstorms and showers over mainly the higher elevations, but otherwise some drier air filtering in. We're not looking for a really fast rebound to hot and dry conditions, so our overall fire potential will stay somewhat moderated for a few days. So as we head into Saturday, still some dryness across the area, or dryness returning to the area gradually. We'll see some yellows returning to the map over Nevada. A little low pressure moving into the Pacific Northwest. Overall drier, continued drying and warming. Maybe by next weekend, valley highs will be into the mid to upper 80s. Some yellows again returning to Nevada. And then same story into the first of next week. Labor Day here should be overall drier, and again, valley highs may be near 90 degrees or so. 7-day precip totals still just really showing what we're expecting in the short term. After Thursday, the precipitation really drops off. The 8 to 14-day outlook calls for above normal temperatures over the Pacific Northwest, and we might see some of those warm temperatures bleeding into western Idaho and northern Nevada. But we're also expecting better chances for precipitation across much of the geographic area, especially the north. So again, not expecting to return back to a very hot, dry, extended pattern. We will continue to see some precipitation and near normal temperatures across much of the area as we head into the 1st of September. That concludes today's briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.